NPR and PBS have increasingly become radical left-wing echo chambers for a narrow audience.
I don't even recognize the station anymore.
I'll spend all of my time doing everything I can to ensure you guys never get another dollar of taxpayer funding. This is complete garbage.
Cliff Keel, I like to think that this is a quality show, but the rest of what we do around here, complete garbage?
I don't think so, Nick. I would disagree with that.
Ever since I've been here, and that's been more than 20 years, there has been worry over public funding and whether it's going to go away. It never has. Why is this different in your mind?
It feels more serious. It feels the threat, I think, is very real. And we've been able to sort of beat back these threats in the past, and I'm hoping we can do that again.
For us, it's about $1.5 million, which, when we look at the entire budget, that's about 13%. What would be the most visible difference that viewers would see if that were to be wiped out?
We would certainly have to do a little bit less, and it would probably be just across the board. Does that mean a little bit less local programming, fewer documentary partnerships?
Let's cut to the chase, Cliff. Will I still have a job? Or does this become Kansas City Month in review?
Well, we feel like an annual,
annual synopsis of what happened in Kansas City.
No, Nick, your show is beloved, of course.
Okay, well,
it will always be here. I think we would do everything we can. I mean, I think the goal would be to limit the impact on our friends and our viewers and our supporters.
But we have corporate supporters, which we see in our underwriting messages. We have foundations that support us, and our big power source, of course, viewers like you, which we say on every program, and that really is important. But couldn't we just make up that money?
I don't think there's a lot of room to go to those folks and say, hey, we need to put back $1.5 million. So we would have to really think through that. It would be tough. And I will add, if you look at smaller market stations, right, we're fortunate here that we have remedies. They would be challenged by the fact that their federal funding might be 40 or 50% of their budget.
Yeah, you said that about Warrensburg. You might be in Western Kansas. That might be more than half their budget comes from that federal funding. They don't have big corporate or foundation support. They may end up closing if that money were to go away.
I would hate to see that, because we all contribute back into the funds that help create the national programs. And so that's another challenge in this when you look at it, Nick, and say, well, Kansas City would find a way to power through this, but what happens to smaller stations? And also, what happens to the funding that goes to help them make those national programs?
So fewer stations means that there may be less money for a Ken Burns, and he decides to take his documentaries out of PBS to go to Netflix, or there might not be a NewsHour any longer because we're also funding that program.
Heaven forbid, but yes, those are the kind of concerns you would have. Folks might say, yeah, just tighten your belt in Kansas City. Well, the problem is, I think about $100 million goes from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting every year to PBS to help build that national schedule. So again, we can sort of gear up here locally and battle this cut if it happened. But again, I think there are some other things that would happen on the national level where we wouldn't really be able to help overcome that.
We have right now 4 fundraisers a year on the air. Some people complain about those, but that helps make our work possible, including this show. Do we go from 4 to 8 fundraising sessions every year on our air?
Ideally not, Nick. I guess never say never, but the goal would be to not do that. We'd try to find other remedies, our major gift fundraising, maybe foundations. We'd certainly look at all of our friends in the community and hope to have them help us with that challenge. And that coupled with, I hate to say it, but probably a little bit of belt tightening, yes.
President and CEO of Kansas City PBS, Cliff Keel, wrapping up our week's news this week. By the way, I had a viewer send me this, which, this part of my sign-off. It says, keep calm and carry on. Do we need to change the sign-off to... quick, hit the panic button. Or can we still do our keep calm and carry on, Cliff?
Let's stick with keep calm and carry on. I love that. Nick, you do an amazing job. I'm honored to be able to be here and speak with you, and thank you for the time.